Welcome to this WZ-132 replay, and we have the pleasure of watching obaidbd playing this tank on this map, and he's platooned up with Badaboom in an RU-251, so both of them in tier 8 light tanks. I decided to feature this replay because I haven't got any replays of the WZ-132 on my channel since I don't own one, so yeah, it's very rare that they come along. And the WZ-132 is the Chinese tier 8 light tank, so it's the counterpart to the T-54 lightweight. And while both of the vehicles are pretty similar, there are some differences as well. I mean, the WZ has got slightly higher DPM, has got better penetration on the AP shells, 189 instead of 175 that the T-54 lightweight has. So it has a higher rate of fire, better ammo capacity, and slightly higher shell velocity as well. Gun handling is pretty much the same apart from on turret rotations. Then the Chinese light tank is slightly worse. Mobility wise, they're pretty equal, although the T-54 lightweight is a couple of kilometers per hour faster. But the thing is with the WZ that it basically has no armor, where the T-54 lightweight actually does, especially on the turret. This tank has got really crappy turret armor, anything can shoot through, and the T-54 lightweight will actually bounce some shots. As well on the hull, the T-54 hull lightweight has more armor and better angles on it, so that's the main reason why it's used in Clan Wars more. But the WZ has basically got better camouflage as well, so as a passive spotter this tank is actually better than the T-54 lightweight, because the T-54 lightweight seems to have the same camo as the regular T-54 tier 9 tank, that is no camo whatsoever. So the T-54 is more of a brawling light tank than a scouting light tank, especially a passive scouting light tank. So far this match is not developed into much yet. Both teams are putting some fire into enemy tanks, and the scores are even, although the enemy team is now one tank behind. Obai tries to put a shot on the T-49, but unfortunately is slightly too slow. He is still spotted for their pleasure though, and now we've got this T-34-100. And the T-34-100, as you could see in my review of the tank, is actually quite a bad vehicle. I can completely understand why he would be in that position, because you're ginormous, you have no armor, and while you have a gun that packs a nice punch, it behaves not at all. Like, it doesn't behave at all. It's just really crappy gun handling, and no reason to. You've got no armor as well, 50 on the front, so it's a tier 5 hull on tier 7, meaning tier 9 tank, so guaranteed recipe for success. It's basically a free XP sink in the line. So here we go, side of the Panther 88, which has 50mm and 189 penetration, apparently dings off that because reasons. More specifically wargaming reasons. And now we can see that the enemy team has got 3 tier 9 tanks and Obai's team has got 2 left, so already they're slightly behind, even though the enemy team has less tanks at the moment. But Obai decides to move up to this little hill over here, so now his team has got only 1 tier 9 tank left, unfortunately. Centurion 7-1 took out the T-54. Obai sort of is deciding what he wants to do, but he decides to move up on this side. So we see the last tier 9 tank here, the T-54, and Obai decides that he wants to cover that guy a little bit. We can see the Skoda T-50 here, and Obai does the right thing in this situation, which is to focus the autoloader. You always focus the autoloader, especially if it has no armor like the T-50 does, because an autoloader is more dangerous than a Centurion 7-1. I mean, the T-50 in particular can unload really fast. It can do 900 damage in a clip, and you do not want to leave that one alive if you can help it. So he's doing the right thing. He's putting shot after shot into that guy, and that guy decides to retreat. So Obai does as well. He is surely spotted by now. He moves up to shoot this T-34 and he gets magically spotted. So no clue how Obai got spotted in this situation, because the IS was still behind the hill and the T-34 couldn't see him. So that's the first instance of the spotting mechanics completely screwing over Obai in this match. It will happen more often, more on that later. But in the meantime, he tries to help out the Tiger 88 against his Conqueror. Unfortunately, he arrives slightly too late, but he does manage to put 2 shots into the Conqueror and then retreats. His friend puts another shot into the Conqueror as well. And then he does a fake move to let the Conqueror think that he's moving up to the rock on the right, while he's in reality just retreating, which is a very smart move. It can throw the enemy off, especially if they don't think very much. And luckily for him, this Conqueror is not thinking very much this match. He moves up with some nice bush cover, but unfortunately the top of his turret gets spotted by this T-50, dubious as that may be at that range. I mean, this tank is supposed to have camo, and yeah, still gets spotted. So gameplay mechanics for you there. So Obai moves up, but is still perma spotted, gets shot by the IS in the side, and then sees this Conqueror moving up, and now he's caught in between 3 tanks at once, and you do not want to be caught by 3 tanks at once in a light tank. So he decides to go for the Conqueror, and the Conqueror has a massive brain fart of gigantic proportions, and instead of coming up the hill, he goes on a what I can only describe as a scenic route along the map to spot various birds and other snakes and whatever in the grass, because why in God's name would you take a tier 9 tank going there when you can see that the 2 tier 8 light tanks on the enemy team have all the kills? That can only be either be a massive brain fart or kill whoring on his part, trying to kill the T-34-100. So Obai doesn't get spotted, managed to take the Centurion 7-1 out, and now he moves up to this bush. T-34 over there, but outside of proxy range. Yet he still gets spotted. That is the second instance where in this match the camo mechanics and spotting mechanics completely screw over Obai. It's really a little bit annoying. I mean, it's probably all perfectly well explainable, like this instance where he gets spotted but doesn't spot anything in return. It's, as I said, it's probably explainable perfectly well, but it just doesn't make much sense. It's just really frustrating that crap like that happens in a close fight like this. But Obai is handling it really well, waits to get despotted and then goes around the ridge to try and help his friend out against the T-34. T-34 is isolated but still manages to take out the RU-251. So I mean, that T-34 player has had a really lucky streak in his tank, and now we've got all kinds of bush camo there. Obai fires, gets spotted, T-34 gets spotted as well through solid bush cover. Again, an instance of the camo mechanics being random as all hell. But Obai managed to kill the T-34 here, so still gets spotted, unfortunately. But obviously the IS knows where he's coming from. The T-34-100 is now under pressure by the IS, who thought it was a good idea to wait, and he's going to pay the price for that. So Obai puts a really nice shot in, doesn't get spotted for a change through solid bush cover, which is nice, and he manages to kill the IS. So yeah, all in all, despite the game trying its best to make Obai lose this match, he actually didn't. He came out as the only survivor on his team with 3.9k damage and nearly 1400 base XP, as well as a top gun. And yeah, I really enjoyed watching this replay, and I hope you did as well. If you did, feel free to rate it, subscribe to the channel, and see you guys next time.